Game week is here. We are just a couple days away from the Giants taking on the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. But first, let's talk about what's going to be on today's video. Daniel Jones restructured his contract, which opened up $6 million in cap space. And a lot of you have already reached out and asked me, does this mean Mike Evans is going to be traded to the New York Giants? I'll share my opinion and all the updates we have going on with that situation. We also have some injury news to discuss, as Cole Beasley is not going to be ready to go for week 1 or week 2. And then the Giants, with that injury news, went and signed another wide receiver. This player has a lot of connections to Brian Dable, so it's a move he obviously signed off on. But before we dive into all that on today's video, make sure you are subscribed to New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. It's game week. I told you that. And we're trying to take down not only the Cowboys on the football field at MetLife on Sunday, we want to beat them in subscribers. So if you want free Giants content every day, hit that big red sub button and turn your notifications on so you can join us for our watch party, first one of the regular season. We will be live an hour before the game, 7:20 p.m. Eastern, Sunday night. Be there. Let's go Big Blue. Alrighty, I hope everybody had a good weekend as it is game time for the Giants. They did restructure Daniel Jones' contract, saving them about $6.3 million on the salary cap. And a lot of people reached out and said, Marshall, why are the Giants doing this? Well, a couple of different reasons. They need to create more cap space just to get through the regular season. Before the move was made, the Giants were in the negative when it came to salary cap space. But since they saved that $6 million, they are now in the green and are salary cap compliant. Right now, if you look at the new cap hits for Daniel Jones, he has a $15.4 million cap hit this year, which is down from the $21.8 million when he inked that deal. His cap numbers also go up just a little bit in 2024, 2025, in 2026. But there is still an easy out for the Giants after the year of 2024. There would now be a $22.2 million dead cap money charge if the Giants wanted to move on from Jones. Let's say he struggles this year and next year. They decide to bring in a new quarterback. They can cut Daniel Jones, save there would be a dead cap hit of $22 million, which is up from the $18 million that was pre-restructured. So pretty much you save salary cap space now with the risk of, if you do move on from him in 2 years, it's going to cost you $4 more million. And this isn't going to be the only Daniel Jones contract restructure that we see. Dan Duggan of The Athletic put this out on Twitter, said, get used to Daniel Jones's restructures. He has $35.5 million base salary in 2024. And unless this season is a catastrophe and moving on after 2024 is a real possibility, they'll surely restructure next offseason with the potential to create as much as $22 million in cap space. So I love the way this deal has already been laid out by Joe Schoen. Going to give them opportunities to really go all in on this win now window with Jones not taking up a huge amount of the cap space like a lot of other quarterbacks in the NFL. I'm just ready to see DJ, though, Sunday Night Football, get his first win against a Dak Prescott-led Cowboy team. He's 0-6 against the Cowboys when he's playing up against Dak. Let's change that. Stand up right now, though, and show some love for your QB. Type his jersey number 8, down below in the comment section. All righty. With the extra $6 million, does this mean the Giants are trading for Mike Evans? A lot of you have asked me, and let's get into it. I do think there is more information I want to get across, though. Jordan Schultz tweeting this out, that the Bucs and 4-time Pro Bowler Evans have not had any communication the last few days on an extension. He was told they will make one last effort toward the end of the week. Evans has set a Saturday deadline. If you've been living under a rock, Mike Evans wants a new deal for the Bucs. He said if he doesn't get that deal before Sunday, it's going to be his last year with the Buccaneers, which had a lot of people wondering if the Giants could trade for Evans since they do not have a wide receiver one. I think it is important to state, though, the Giants restructuring Daniel Jones has nothing to do with Mike Evans. The Giants did this just so they could be in the positive when it comes to cap space, because even after they saved that $6.5 million, they still have just $1.7 million in cap space. So there are more moves that are going to be made for the Giants to have enough cap to go through the 2023 season. It is possible, though, if the Giants want to trade for Mike Evans, that they could take on his salary. It would only cost them but $13 million if Mike Evans goes from Tampa to New York. And the Giants have multiple ways they could come up with that type of money. They could restructure Leonard Williams, and it saves them $12 million. They could restructure Adoree Jackson, and it saves them $6.5 million. So if you were to restructure these two guys, you save almost $19 million, and you would have enough cushion to accept a Mike Evans contract. But even if you did trade for him, you could also tweak his deal. He's on the last year of his deal. You can give him an extension. You could push the money owed in the cap hit into the future. Do I think it happens? I think it is not all that likely right now. Maybe we get closer and closer to that trade deadline. Giants really have a glaring need at that wide receiver one position. Then maybe Joe Schoen could pull the trigger. I'll ask you, though, should the Giants trade for Evans? What do you think? It definitely makes them a better offense. There would be some risk, though, with the cap going forward. I think it's pretty telling that Joe Schoen could have saved $18.5 million by restructuring Leonard Williams and Adoree Jackson, and he chose to do it with Daniel Jones. This might be their last year with Big Blue. But let me know. T for trade, P for pass, so the Giants make a move for Mike Evans. We have injury news and roster moves to get to around the corner. But first, I got to tell you about our awesome, proud sportsbook partner, BetUS. Go to chatsports.com/bet and use this promo code, chat125, and they will hook you up with a 125% deposit bonus. I'm betting Giants money line this Sunday. If you want to make some money, do the same. Chatsports.com/bet. Remember, promo code chat125. All righty, Cole Beasley, who is on the Giants practice squad right now, has been added to the practice squad IR, which just means you can add another player to your P squad while still owning the rights to Beasley. But he is going to miss at minimum 4 games. Still dealing with that groin injury that held him out of practice for a couple of days. Not really too worried about this. And the Giants are already improving their practice squad with that extra spot since Beasley has gone to the IR. The Giants have signed 6'5" wide receiver Cam Sims to the P squad. And you may have heard this name before. He's spent some time with the Raiders. He's also spent some time with the Washington football team. But he also has a strong connection with Brian Daboll. Daboll was Sims's offensive coordinator at Alabama in 2017 when they went on to win that national championship. 6'5", 220 pounds, and he actually has some solid production in this league. 8 receptions this past year for 89 yards. The year before that, 15 for 211 and 2 touchdowns. Had a 60-yard touchdown against the Cowboys on the head top of Trayvon Diggs. In the past time of his career, 32 grabs in 2020 was his most successful season, 32 for 477 and a touchdown. And then in 2019, only played in 7 games. Look, I like the move by Sims, practice squad at the end of the day, but we've seen how Joe Schoen can make that work. I just know this. We are days away from Giants, Cowboys. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. I'm ready to start the season on the right foot. Because if you can start 1-0, you give yourself a little bit of a cushion. You play Arizona week 2, that should be a win. Then you got a tough couple of games versus the Niners. You got the Dolphins. You got the Bills. It's going to be tough. If you are ready for week 1, I want you to hit that thumbs up icon. Look, if you made it this far in the video, you are a real one. So show some love. Hit that thumbs up icon if you're ready to beat the Cowboys week 1. As always, you can follow me over on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. I'll have the link to my Twitter to where it's clickable down in the comments and description of today's show. Trying to up my Twitter followers, and I want to follow more Giants fans back. So give me a follow and send me a DM saying, "Go Big Blue," and I'll give you a follow back.